It is Thursday, August 11th, 2016. On today's date, it is National Raspberry Tart Day. My name is Razzle. I'm joined by Shake for episode 26 of the Prattlecast. And I'm assuming that's right. Yeah, we're 26 now.
Are you sure?
I'm very sure, because last week we had the big 25, Shake.
Yeah, we had the big 25 that I forgot to...
You forgot to number it.
Mm-hmm. So, y'all are going to see that reposted. It's not new. It's just the same shit with a new title. I wish there was an easier way to correct titles without having to take it down.
I know.
And re-upload it. There should be an easier way to do that.
You would think there would be some way to do this without it causing a headache, but there's not.
Can y'all send some help? Because I need to know how to fix it. I had a dream, actually, 2 days ago.
Really?
That it's like one of those dreams where I thought I was awake. You know, like you think that this is your life, except I looked really good, so I knew it couldn't be real. And I was like in really great shape. But anyway, I was on a couch with Mark Maron. And we were chatting, and he said that he got in touch with some people, like about our podcast and how he really loved it. And he went, "Shut up!" I was so excited. I'm like, "Oh my god, Mark Maron thinks we're great," and it was really exciting. And then I woke up and I'm like, "Yeah, it's just a dream. It's not happening."
Can you imagine?
He doesn't know who the fuck we are. And we were like friends on Twitter after that. Because I was like, can we be friends on Twitter? Because that was really important to me. But yeah, Mark Maron digs us in my dreams.
Yeah, I was just picturing what it would be like if Mark Maron actually heard one of these podcasts. I
think he'd enjoy it.
Okay.
Wow, you don't even like your own podcast?
Oh my god.
Are you doing something you're not proud of?
Oh my god. This is the most proud work I've done in my entire life.
Okay, the dripping sarcasm upsets me.
Well, the only thing dripping is his frappuccino from my mouth as I was laughing, but I came right down my lip too. Oh!
Have you ever... Oh, we're going to have to talk about this later. This might be our last episode.
Oh my god.
This might be it. Razzle doesn't even want to do our podcast anymore.
You know what's so funny? I actually found a screenshot. What I need to do is probably share this on Twitter. I was looking through the my messages on my phone today because I couldn't use my phone. But that's a whole heart attack of a story that doesn't even matter because I got the issue fixed. But inside of my messages, I was scrolling through here and I found the one where we were talking about naming our podcast.
Oh my god, you're serious?
Yeah, from back February 4th, and this is how it went down. It was really quick. I was giving out some names. I was offering up some names, and one of them was Prattlecast. And Shake said, "Prattlecast sounds very odd when I say it out loud. What does prattle even mean?" And then I said, "Foolish are inconsequential talk. Obviously, this is the worst of the ones I sent you, but I am spitballing ideas." So Shake didn't know what we were about, and I thought it was a terrible idea. So that was back in February.
And that we stuck with it.
And 26 episodes later, 27 weeks later, technically, but 26 episodes. Here we are, still going strong, still drinking our mochas. Oh, where does the time go?
Yeah, Razzle still doesn't want to do it.
I never said I didn't want to do it.
Yeah, just making fun of us like we're nothing. We're going to be famous someday, and you're just mad. And then when it hits and you are famous, you're going to be like, Jesus, I never knew this was going to happen.
Oh my god.
I'm going to lose it once Mark Maron does sit down with me on a couch.
I think that would be interesting. I think if, there's a lot of people out there we could get to listen to our podcast, Shake. But
the whole world.
Yeah, we need to probably start a little small though, Well, like, let's work on,
Let's work on Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell.
She'll come on. We'll get her and Madonna together.
But, okay, here's some stuff. We got some gaming news.
Wait a minute, I need to know what a raspberry tart is.
A raspberry tart? I don't know what it is. I saw that it was Raspberry Tart Day. It's like
I don't think I've ever even had a raspberry.
You've never had a tart?
I don't know what a tart is.
It's like a, it's like a little, it's a tart. It's kind of like a Pop-Tart, right?
Good talk. Go to your gaming news. Jesus. Fucking ass.
I've had a raspberry Pop-Tart, I think.
I've had the fudge one. Anyway, tell me what's your
Oh, I already
news?
forgot. Oh, wait, no, here it is. It's Friday the 13th. We saw they just released the concept art for the
Mm-hmm.
Flirty girl
Yeah,
with her
that's
little.
me. That's me. Just want everyone to know that's me. I got dibs.
Uh, mm-hmm.
She's wearing a really nice outfit.
Oh my God, Shay.
I mean, she probably has no skills except
No,
persuasion.
that's not true. I was reading up a little bit about her. She's going to have, according to the current release, now this information is subject to change, but apparently she's going to be like super stealthy. So she'll be
Ooh,
very hard to
flirty.
hear. But some of her drawbacks will be I think one of them is that she's not going to be very skilled at fixing things. So she's not going to be good at fixing
Right.
phones or cars. And the other thing is she's going to lose her mind a lot faster, like go or feel fear faster. So she'll have to be around other people a lot. So I don't really know how that works. Like if you're a super stealthy character, you probably don't want a lot of people around you who could probably draw a lot of.
Well, it means that when it comes down to it, when somebody's about to die and they're near her, she can get away. And they can take the heat of Jason. She's like, bye, bitch.
Well,
That's what the flirty girl does.
yeah, I think that was the other thing they mentioned. Like I think that she can run really fast too, but I don't really know if that was in there or not. But I think that was. So she can like keep her running and such. I imagine if you had two flirty girls, it would probably work out really well because two flirty girls, Jesus. Anyway, if you put them outside of the forest together, okay, then they're super stealthy. They keep each other calm, and that's a great way to win. So everybody needs to play as flirty girls.
Yeah, but you don't get to pick.
What?
You don't get to pick your
Yes, you
characters.
do. No,
I thought you were going to be randomly generated
no,
in each
no.
turn.
You cannot choose whether or not you're Jason or counselors. That's the only thing you cannot choose. But whenever you're a counselor, you have access to all the ones you've unlocked, and you can pick among those. So,
So you can have multiple people in the game as the same counselor,
absolutely.
and but can you customize them to look different
Yes, you can like
from each
as
other?
you get.
Like it'll be a different counselor with the same title,
You
essentially.
see, the way the game's going to start, and I can already tell you haven't been watching those counselor videos I told you to watch. Oh,
Yeah, no,
we're gonna
listen,
watch
listen.
those.
Yeah, that's fine. We can do that.
Oh my good, but no. Basically, the game will work like this. As you gain XP, you have because you only when you start the game, you only have access to a limited number of counselors. I don't know if it's going to be 4 or 5, but it looks like the maximum is going to be up to 10 or 11. Um, and so you can get XP, and as you get XP, you can start unlocking things. I imagine it's going to work like Battlefront, where you get like points, and then you can spend those points on unlocking features. That will include clothing items, and stuff like that for characters, as well as unlocking different forms of Jason. Because I think you start off with Part 3 Jason, and then you can unlock Part 2 or Part 4. Or
I
and
don't want part two, Jason.
I don't even know if Part 4 is in there now that I think about it.
I don't want any Jason that isn't wearing a hockey mask.
That's weird because I
I
watched
don't want the sack over the head. I'm not feeling it.
I watched them recently again, and
Mhm.
I still think 2 and 3 are my favorites. I really do. Like 2 and 3 are my favorite of the films, hands down. So I actually like Part 2, and I like Part 2 Jason with this little sack on his head and the little
Well,
eye
yeah, but
slit.
I hate when they show me his face. It ruins it for me every time.
Well, they should.
Every time I have to look at his face, I get really upset.
I don't know. I think in Part 7 when they show his face, it's pretty menacing.
But no, I like the mask. Just I got a thing for it. Just leave him alone.
So then you
Let
probably
him wear his hockey
I
mask.
I always hated that about Part 7, the way they kind of just destroy the fucking mask, and they're like, after all of this history, because like from movie to movie to movie, you have like the axe mark in the mask that Chris gives him with the axe,
Yep.
and then you have like the bullet wound from Part 6, as well as the damage done to the mask from the motor thing. So from the Sheriff Garris and his daughter Megan both did that. So those things were carrying over, and from movie to movie to movie, you had all these scars and all
They were
these.
building a
Yeah.
history on this.
And then Part
Yep.
7 comes, and Mind Girl just fucking rips his mask apart. And so, technically, though, the way they end that movie at the very end, you can see the guy picking up the mask it's been split in two. So I don't see why they just didn't like super glue it together, like have a character who's like a Jason enthusiast, and he's like collecting all the Jason items, so you can have Jason go get the original mask again. But they didn't. They came up with a new mask, and it totally ruins it. So Part 7 did that. So, whatever.
You're on a real Friday the 13th kick.
I am getting pumped about this re-release. So, not re-release.
It's the
The
game,
game
like
release.
the game release,
Uh,
where they're re-releasing all of they're redoing the entire series, guys. In case you didn't know.
yeah, and so you're gonna have to watch them all with me, and before the game
Yes,
comes
I
out,
will.
or
I
at least the
will.
good
I
ones.
haven't watched them in a while.
Oh, they're so good.
I mean, the game's coming out in October.
We hope. They recently
It's
they posted something about having some issues with certain things. Things are taking a little longer than they expected with certain elements, but it still is possible they could be out by October. And if not, we'll just have to wait a little longer.
Yeah, I don't want to wait though. October's such a busy month for me.
It really is.
I don't want to wait. I got a lot going on, and I want to play my game. I want to play. I have things to do.
But if it's not October, I don't know. I think we were talking about how January is the first of the next Friday the 13th. Anyway,
The actual date. So maybe if they're just pushing it so they have more time for something, they could do that.
they could, but in my opinion, they might as well go ahead and release it at least on the PC version, and then just update it with a patch later. So, but that's
Yeah,
my mind.
just let it be a little bit broken. I don't think they want to release a broken game.
I don't
though.
think so either. They've put so much heart and soul in this game, and they're paying attention to details. Oh, that was one thing they mentioned. They said that it was hard to getting some of the assets from Part 6, so I don't know if that was props or what they were trying to put in from Part 6. But as far as I know, they haven't even released all the maps. I think there's going to be 3 maps. I think one's Crystal Lake, one's probably the Higgins Haven, and then the third one has yet to be identified. So could it be that it's going to be the Part 6, which is really Crystal Lake, just, what do they call it? Forest something? Forest whatever. But I don't know. I think it should be the boat.
Just have a whole level on the
Just
boat.
put a whole level. Someone needs to
Just
mod that in.
put us on the ferry. Just put us on.
That's what I would do.
I mean, it could happen. I just want it to be out already. But
Great.
in other news, because I said I'd talk about it once I played
Yes.
it. The Isle has progression now.
Yes, it does.
You and I played it together a little bit, and you were not having a good time
No.
with your progression. But I refused to give up even when Razzle abandoned me.
I didn't abandon you.
I'm just left all the time.
I waited so late that night just so I could play it with you. Like I should have gone to bed like an hour earlier because I was like exhausted. But
Well, you know what?
you know what,
You know
Shake?
what?
I decided, you know what? I need to spend some time with Shake tonight. So I am going to wait up and play with my friend.
Oh, my heart.
So there you go, saying I'm abandoning you. Oh my
Well,
God.
anyway, nobody cares.
Oh my God.
But I was playing around with the progression on the map that we've played on the entire time, which I can't remember the name of it. It's got some stupid name. But it's got Spawn Lake.
Yeah.
That's the map, Spawn Lake, essentially. And I was messing around on there, and then the progression system was the way it seems to work is every minute you're alive, you get a point.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a herbivore and you're in a herd, and those people are also alive, you get an extra point for every person in your herd each minute. So they want you to be with other herbivores when you're a herbivore, which makes sense. It doesn't matter when you're a carnivore,
Mm-hmm.
but as a herbivore, they want you to stick together. So that's the only way the progression system works right now. It's just a point per minute, and you have to live. And I was messing around with it. I wasn't getting very far because I was playing a carnivore over and over again. I don't know why, because I suck at it. And then the server went down, and it was like, oh, you got to restart your game. So I did it, and then my map was gone.
Yeah.
The map just, it's gone. Spawn Lake it no longer exists.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone forever.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I found essentially a vanilla server that doesn't have progression. You can still change all the skins. You can play all the old dinosaurs and play it that way. And nobody was talking on that server. It's very heavy RP. So it's nice to have that. But I ended up in the Misty Valley for the first time. And I know you've already played on that before.
Yeah.
I had chosen to avoid it because I hated it.
Oh my God.
I don't like change.
Shake. Oh, you
I
don't
don't
like
like-
change, and you were getting on me for not liking the progressions. That's the. Oh, that's
I don't
rich.
like change.
See,
you know what? Shut up.
I actually like the map. I like the Misty Valley map.
it is very
It's
pretty.
very
I will say
pretty.
that
It's
it's a
it's
gorgeous
it's
map.
about 10 times better than the original map, and I'll tell you why. Not only do you have more vegetation and more lush colors, but it's bigger. They're going to start implementing things like the day-night cycle, and
It's already in
oh, I
there.
didn't even know that. Like I played a little bit the other day, like yesterday or whatever, and I didn't play very long, but it just enough to kind of run around. But I think the map is so big that it's hard to find other people right now because I couldn't find anybody, even though I knew there was like 50 people on that server. But it was
Yeah.
easier to hide, so it was easier for me to be a herbivore, which I liked. Um, but yeah, I played around with it a little bit. I like the map. I don't care for progression, but it's still early and it's still being tested, and we'll wait and see what happens next. So,
See, I liked it because it was huge. I was just trying to explore it, and I was losing my bearings constantly. And I'm like, what the hell? And it's like you got all these gorgeous mountains around you, and then you've got these sandy, dried up lakes that you end up kind of seeing other people, but they're not out in the open. They're hiding in the trees.
hmm
Like every herbivore was just embedded within the forest, which I liked because that's how it would be.
hmm
And progression has kind of forced people to play like real dinosaurs. And I thought it was really cool because like I found a little lake, but there was a bunch of carnivores over there, like little raptors together. And so I was staying inside the trees, and I went around the lake to there was like a little small puddle, little watering hole puddle that like if I walked in it, I was filling it up. Like that's how it was so small, a dryo filled it up. And I would run to it, drink my water, and then hide in a bush, and then eat when I had to. And I was waiting for them to leave because I didn't want to be eaten. But I thought it was really cool that I was like, wow, I'm actually having to be a herbivore. Like I'm hiding. I'm doing what they would do. And then when I did have a herd, it was really cool how like we all moved together. Like nobody ever ran off and did their own thing. Everybody stayed together. And we'd all hide ourselves in the bushes, and like one would sneak out to see if we could go out to safety and get some water. So like I guess if you're I don't know, if you're not into being patient, being a herbivore in progression can be boring until you're big.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. My problem with progression is not that. Uh,
Oh, I didn't say it was your problem with
well,
progression.
as far as the progression system, I feel like there's no problem with a progression system as long as the penalties match something that's a little bit more rational. Because the way it's working right now is you always are going to come in as the smaller dino,
Mm-hmm.
and until that server, like a couple of weeks from now or whatever, whenever they reset it. Because one time I had a Gallimimus, and then when they reset the server like a week later, I was a Dryo again. So until they do that again, the progression stays in there. But when you die, like when you go, because there's not a point system that carries over, you start back at the very bottom with 0 points. In my opinion, there's nothing wrong with penalizing players from death for like penalizing of a certain number of points or whatever, but they should be able to maintain certain points or not even necessarily unlocks. Like even if you wanted to do it where it's you you unlock something and you lose your unlocks. I mean, that's fair. But to lose points doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So if I'm like playing for like 16 hours and I'm doing super well, and whatever, then one day I make a big mistake and I start right back at the very bottom of the bottom, and no points left over. I feel like it sort of hurts people who can't be in the game all the time. Like if you only have 30 minutes to play at a time, you're kind of screwed. And so that's what I don't like about it right now. I feel like when they fix those things and when they implement something that's hopefully more balanced than that, I think it's going to be better. But until that
Oh no,
happens,
I would agree with that because I don't like how when you die you get bumped all the way to the back. I wouldn't mind if like say you make it to the third tier, like you unlock a Packy and you die as a Packy, you just get bumped down to Gallimimus. You get like
see,
I would not mind going down a one tier.
right,
I
right, right.
mind getting because then that seems fair to me. I'm just like, oh, I fucked up. Now I got to go through this again. Like that doesn't bother me so much. What I don't like is that when I log out and back in, I'm still a Dryo every time, most of the time. Even though you said it apparently saves, it wasn't on the new servers.
Well, right. Like
And
when they carry over to let me you remember when we played that first time, like a week or two ago, and I was a Dryo, but then I finally unlocked Gallimimus. Well, then I played it like a week later. I still had Gallimimus, but then when I played it last night, my Gallimimus was gone. So I don't know if it's at some point, whenever they do something to the server or they change a major asset, it wipes it out. So that's what
Yeah.
I meant.
And I get it. It's early access. I shouldn't expect much of anything, but I don't progression is so new. It's just irritating because I saw somebody get all the way to Shantu and it was awesome because it took them almost 3 hours to do it.
Yeah.
And then they get it and they and then the server got shut down and we if now and also now if you log into the servers too quickly after they come up, you fall through the map
Yeah, that
and
happened to me once.
and there's no way to get out of it until it resets again.
Yeah.
Like you can't do anything. You can like send them log files and stuff and see if they'll fix it, but they won't. But somebody got all the way to Shantu, and then the server went down because it was resetting. I came back up, and I still had my galley because was avoiding death. But this person came back on and freaked out, like they lost everything that they had done because of the reset. And I get that it's going to happen.
Yeah, and I mean,
But
at this stage in the game, like I'm not even really complaining about it. I'm just kind of voicing what my opinions are right now because, like, there are a lot of people out there who I think are morons who are out there giving the game a bad rating because of its current build when this game is still early access and they've got like logged in over 200 hours or whatever, and you're giving it. We've talked about that before. Like I
yeah,
would never give this game a thumbs down because if nothing else, I got 50 or 60 so hours worth of a lot of fun out of it. So even if they change it so fundamentally that it's not a game I could play anymore, I'm still not going to give it a thumbs down. I might mention the changes in my review, but I'm still going to give it a thumbs up if I got like that much fun out of the game because I feel like
right.
that's fair to the developer to do that. But the other thing, they've been mentioning a couple of problems with the certain things. There was a guy on the forum who was talking about one of the problems with carnivores and the reason why people are hating on these alto raptors. What are they called?
Oh, the Utoraptors?
No, the spawning raptor. So the first one.
Oh, the well, there's the Herrerasaur and the Ostroraptor.
Austroraptor.
Yeah.
See, I don't really know dinosaurs, guys, okay? But the Austroraptor. They were making a forum post about it, and they said one of the reasons why people don't like them so much is because when people are dying and they spawn in as an Austroraptor, these are usually people who might have, gone all the way up to T-Rex or something and then just got, shanked or whatever. And now when they come in as an Austro, they're super ticked off. And so they're very aggressive. And so there's like this other element to it as well, where you lose everything and you go back to the bottom and you got like a bunch of ticked off Austroraptors running around. But
Yeah, you got a bunch of angry raptors looking for whoever murdered them, and they
but I mean, all
going
of
after
these
them.
things can be fixed though, and I'm not by any means bringing all this up as a because I still think the game is wonderful. Like it's still a very beautiful game. You can still play it. I'm looking forward to playing on the new map. I think I'll have more fun on that. But it does need some improvement, and I'm sure as they bring in humans soon, we'll see a little bit more balance in certain areas. So that'll be interesting. But it's got a
They're
ways to go.
they're also gonna be. It's funny that you mentioned the ticked off raptors because when I was playing with you, well, trying to find you, and then even after you left, I had this same raptor coming after me over and over and over because I killed him.
Oh, really?
And he just wouldn't leave me alone after that. But I was with all the T-Rexes, so the T-Rexes were like, we're not putting up with that shit. And they just kept killing him, but he kept coming back. So I'm hoping that changes too.
Yeah, I mean, people.
What was I just going to tell you?
Well, I'll mention this while you're thinking about it. One of the things that I'm a
Yeah, I
little
was going to tell
upset
you
about
something
right now
else.
is I haven't been able to play my Maiasaura in quite a while, and that was my favorite one to play because of the progression system. And I'm kind of wanting to be one again. So that's fueling me a little bit too. I want to be my little ducky dinosaur.
Well, with the new map, because I'm excited to explore it because I'm not a coordinates player. I like to just look at the map and kind of learn the lay of the land by walking through it. Much like a dinosaur would. They're not reading coordinates.
The hell
Sorry.
they're not.
And they keep talking about taking coordinates out anyway, which they
Oh
might
yeah,
at some point.
they've been
I
saying
want
that for a
them
while.
to.
I'm pretty sure they are going to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I want them to, because I want it to feel more like, if you're new to it, you're lost.
And that way, whenever you're like leading people, you can say, "Oh, we'll just go by the rock shaped like a A long neck.
We gotta go past the mountains that burn. Yeah, it'll just feel more. You'll feel more like an animal, because they're not reading coordinates. They're not doing that. But if we get on that new map together and get through the progression to get to a Maiasaur is an hour. That takes an hour to get to a
Oh
Maiasaur.
my goodness.
Yeah, because you have to be the Dryo for 30 minutes, then the Galley, and then Maya. With the Maya, if you become a Maiasaur, you upgrade to Shantu after that. It unlocks the Shantu.
Yeah, I don't think I would ever do that though. Like I think I'd just stay a Maya.
Then that's fine. See, I'd end up becoming, from how I'm looking at it, I feel like once I can get to that point, I'd be a Diablo, because the Diablo Ceratops unlocks the Stego, and Stego is my love.
Oh, how do you get a try? Because I didn't even see him on there anymore.
The Triceratops?
Yeah.
Because it's gone.
They got rid of the Triceratops?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me right now?
No, I didn't see it on there either.
Like, are you sure it wasn't like moved to another branch somewhere or something? Because
No, it's gone.
like, you mean like gone from the game? Like,
Yeah, because they have Shantu, Stego, Ankylosaur. No, the Trike is still on there,
yeah,
on the tier.
it's
No,
gotta
it's
be
on there.
somewhere. I didn't see it on like the original one, but I'm thinking there are different tiers, right? So,
Well, yeah, right now all they have is, because there's like primitive, cannibal, human, mercenary, survivor thing. They have all those which have nothing on them. You can't get into those. And then they have the carnivore and herbivore ones. And I didn't see Trike anywhere in herbivore, but I could be insane. I might have just
no,
overlooked
I
it.
don't think he was on there, but I don't know if that means that you unlock them like after you get to a certain point. Because I don't know.
Well,
I
no,
don't
they
know.
would have showed them on the list because only goes up to Shantu. Like they took out the long neck,
Oh yeah, yeah, they
which
did.
which makes sense. I mean, it doesn't really have a use, except to
I
murder
don't know.
people,
Now, I mean, they're
be
just taking
huge.
all these dinosaurs. I'm getting a little upset
But
now.
they're putting a lot of new ones in, and they're also making their own. They're making ones that aren't necessarily real, but are ones that you've seen in movies and things like that. And what's also interesting is the monsters they're designing. I'm really into the artwork I've seen of the monsters they're making, like these weird creatures that look really cool. I don't think anybody can play as them. I just think they're monsters that are in the game.
That's one thing they
And
need to start implementing is the AI creatures or something that like low level carnivores can eat would be
I
nice.
know they've talked about it. I know they're gonna do it because I actually found the developers have a public page that you can go to. I gotta find the address for it. I have it saved in my phone. I'll have to post it. That you can go onto and look at. They have like a kind of like a list of stuff that they are going to do, and you see that's crossed off when they get it done. And the list is huge, and it's amazing how much they've done already. And like every day, you'll see new things checked off that they've gotten done. I'll have to put that in the description for the link to that because I thought it was really cool. And if you're into the game and what they're doing and what they're planning, it's all on that list. It's really cool. I love it. But I'm excited. I think it'll be better when we're able to play together on the new map, because progression's easier with a group. At least as herbivore. Carnivore, it sucks with a group because everybody's trying to kill each other, which is so strange to me. Carnivores. I mean, I understand you want to stick with your own species, but I've noticed just with Austroraptors, because everybody I had met when I was a Herrerasaur was really nice, and they were just trying to help, because I didn't really understand how a lot of things worked anymore. I was essentially relearning the game because I've been away from it for so long. And then I was like, oh, let's spawn in as an Austroraptor, take a look at it. Because everything looks a little bigger now. Like, they've changed the sizes of everything. Everything's different. Everything looks a lot nicer, though. But when I spawned in as an Austroraptor, I was asking others for help and telling them where I was, and they found me and killed me. Like, they just ate me every time.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
I know
so
they're pretty generally hated among the general community, like Ostroraptors. It's become like a big thing there.
Yeah, it used to be the Suchomimus, and now it's gone to Ostros.
And when they bring in like things like compies, I might be a little bit more calmed down to play them. But I think because when I become a compy, I don't think I'll ever progress. I don't really care for the carnivores that much. But I also think that if you're going to do a progression system, maybe that would benefit carnivores to have like a true penalty there where you actually do lose all your points. But herbivores, there doesn't seem to be much of a point to it, um, in my opinion. Like, especially if they're going to bring in AI creatures. After they do that, then there's no reason to go hunting down dryos all the time. But also, when you bring in compies, that means people can no longer spawn in as Ostroraptor. So we need to all be praying that they bring in compies soon, right?
Yeah, I mean it is happening. We've seen the
Oh,
imaging.
I
They've
can't
already
wait.
started working on it, but we just don't know when it's
I mean,
coming.
it's one of my favorite dinosaurs. They're so cute.
Yeah,
And
the progression system for the carnivores does seem odd to me because you have to just murder everything to get through right now.
yeah.
I mean I don't know, and I feel like if you murder your own species, you should be penalized for that.
Yeah, you definitely should, I think.
Like
Especially,
I don't think Herrerasaurs should turn around and oh I dropped something. Should turn around and kill each other. I don't think that's fair in the carnivore world
well,
because then you can just find a bunch of Herrerasaurs and be like, hey, where are you guys? And kill them, and then you're good.
Well, I think
I
if
think
you're
people should be
if
penalized.
you're spawning in as like let's say you start off as compy, then you're probably going to be limited to like bugs and things like that. But then as you progress to the first tier, let's say that that's a Herrerasaur in the future. So like you go from compy to Herrerasaur. Now when you're a Herrerasaur, you should be allowed to go out and hunt things like Dryos and other herbivores that are kind of around your same level. So when you're a Herrerasaur, you can pretty much attack anything and not worry about penalties. But as you progress from that, let's say you get all the way up to T-Rex. If you're a T-Rex and you go out of your way to just go kill Dryos and stuff like that, I feel like there
Right,
should
stuff that
be
isn't gonna benefit you.
right because
It's it's not gonna feed
right. It's not
you.
going to give you much nutrients. It's clearly just you being a dick. Then I think at that point there could be some type of penalty put in so that it keeps T Rexes away from animals they wouldn't ordinarily go after, and it makes them more targeted on larger animals that they'd have a bigger chance against. I feel like that would add some sense of balance there, and also, I mean, especially if you're like taking away things like Triceratops. Oh, I need my Triceratops.
I'm gonna have to go on the game after we're done and take a look at that because I'm panicking about
Because,
that right
you know,
now.
that's Dr. Alan Grant's favorite dinosaur.
I
You know what
know.
I got to thinking about today? I got to thinking, what would it be like if Jurassic Park had Sam Elliott instead of Sam Neill? Like, I was picturing every scene with Sam Elliott, and I was like, I want to see this movie now.
That movie would be very
It
different
would be very awesome.
because yeah, but it's Sam Elliott.
I know. I mean, he'd have that thick Southern drawl. It just
Yeah,
be,
it's like a cowboy going into Jurassic
it'd be
Park.
perfect.
But like I don't feel like he would have that same look of love for
Oh,
dinosaurs.
he might. Like,
I mean, he's just got a lovely face. I just love Sam
he could
Elliott.
have some
But
very soft eyes.
yes, he's got a good face. That's a good looking
Did
man.
you ever see Parks and Rec?
Yeah, I've seen Parks and Rec.
Okay, so you've seen the Sam Elliott's appearances on that.
No, I have not.
Oh, okay. Well, I will hold off on that.
I've watched Parks and Rec. I haven't
Okay,
gone through all of
he's
them.
hilarious on
I'm
that.
gonna have to do that though. I've been meaning to watch it. Oh, but since you decided to, oh Jesus, you went off on Sam Elliott.
I don't know. I'm just kind of going everywhere right now.
Dr. Sam Elliott. But the one thing I like about the herbivore progression system is even though it doesn't seem to give us much right now, I just really like how it makes you have to be like how a herbivore would be in order for you to survive. So I mean, I feel better about the herbivore system. So now I'm kind of only playing herbivores because I don't like the way carnivores are right now. It's way too. I get that they're aggressive, they're carnivores, but it's too aggressive. Like the players are going nuts on each other, and the only way to really live is if you have a bunch of friends that are playing as that with you, and you're keeping each other safe.
And maybe also penalize people for attacking food sources when they're not hungry.
Yeah, it's like unless your health is at like for carnivores, let's say half, because then you can kill something, kind of stay around it, so you can eat it when you actually need to. If if your hunger is over half, or you're not injured or anything, you should not be killing anybody. Just leave everyone the fuck alone.
You know, I'm sure they've probably already thought about everything we're talking about. They're like, we got it covered. We know what we're doing.
Yeah, but I was also remembering when the developer was when Dondi was watching me play it. He had said that he didn't like the trikes. He didn't like the skins that he had for them because he was mad that I picked the blue skin and then he
Well,
took it
I
out
didn't
a week
like I
later.
didn't like the blue skin either.
Yeah,
I,
he took it. He's like, I don't know why I made that, and then it was gone.
but I don't think he
After
didn't say he didn't like the trikes though. I think he was just talking about
no,
those
he didn't. He
skins.
didn't like the skins. Like he didn't like how the trikes were. Um, so maybe he took them out to make them better.
I would hope so. Like if you took them out to make them better, I got no problem with that. My hope
Because
is
I mean, he remodeled the Rexes,
because I mean the T
and they
Rex.
look
I mean
nice.
the trike is such a staple of the dinosaur world. It's I mean it's one of the most powerful herbivores. He's got like the three horns. He can do anything.
Yeah, now the new look of the Rexes I really like because I was looking at the old models when I was on the vanilla server and I was like, oh, you guys look cute, but then the new ones look so much thicker and stockier and more T-Rex, and I was like, yeah,
Yeah, I like
this
the
is
look of
good.
everything now. I like that a lot of the unnatural colors of the dinosaurs have been taken out, or I guess not.
Well, they don't let you pick
Right, but I mean all the
anymore.
dinosaurs I've seen look kind of normal. They don't look except
There's no bright,
there's
flashy colors.
there's no Scion trikes, even though there's no trikes necessarily. You know what? They might actually have Triceratops in there, and there's somebody listening to this right now, like, what are you guys talking about? You unlike
I'm
you
playing a trike right
because
now.
they're probably in there, and I just don't know it. Because you have to understand, we only played for a short bit, really, realistically.
Yeah, and I
Um,
was playing for a couple hours after, but I was more focused on what is this new map I've been thrown on? How do I learn it? Like I was really just wanting to figure it out.
yeah, and the map looks gorgeous. Like I remember playing
It's
it
really
way
nice.
back when you could only spawn at one point, so everybody was always killing each other at the spawning ground. I don't know if it's still the same or not. But I remember the day-night cycle was the thing I saw and was like, oh my God, that is so gorgeous.
Yeah, I noticed spawning. The spawns are random now. Because I remember coming in and everybody was flooding one point,
Yeah.
and I got pissed and I'm like, "Fuck you, Razzle! I can't go on this server. It's bullshit." And you're like, "Just wait till it's empty." And I'm like,
That's
"No,
what
I'm
I would
not
do. Like
waiting."
I would wait until I saw
Yeah.
one with zero people. I'd join it and then I'd run away from the spawning ground and just enjoy walking around the map. And that's how I spent my time because you couldn't do it for long because you couldn't eat plants. So everybody was a carnivore.
Right, you just die.
Yeah.
But there was yeah, the spawns are random now. You spawn in random places all the time. You just can't go on the game immediately after it comes back up, or you're locked out until the next server restart, which sucked because that's how I had to stop last night. I was like, oh, I guess I'm done. But it's all random now. You can eat a bunch of stuff. Like there's, I mean, it's weird. Some of the small plants, like there's still stuff in the game, like plants that I would like to be able to eat because it doesn't make sense that a Dryo's eating a
Yeah, I
tree.
was just about to say
It,
that.
it'll never make sense to me, but I get that that's what they're doing right now because it's easy to find and
And
it's stable. And there's also the little bushes. It's a very specific bush, like the three prong branches in them. Those are the only bushes you can eat too.
yeah, but I mean the trees also give away your location when you go around eating them. It's like, oh, there's
Well, yeah, because then they're
disappearing
like, oh,
trees. There's something over
right.
there.
Yeah. So I mean, but that's probably something they're gonna
I
fix
would
that
think
they
so.
already know
I
about.
don't think they're going to have edible trees for Dryos in the finished game because that would be
Yeah. Because it used to be Dryos couldn't eat at all. I remember when Dryos were just like an unloved dinosaur. They couldn't eat anything. They couldn't do anything. It was
I mean
pretty.
I don't know if they can technically do anything or not now, but they
No, Dryos can't. They're still completely useless. They're just little tiny dinosaurs that you start as.
and you just kind of run away from everything and you know.
And we finally saw in the Discord the the nesting designs.
Oh, I am so looking forward to nesting shake.
Yep, the nest were just in there. I actually want to see if I can pull it up so I can post it later. But it's they've got a yeah, the aviary artificial nesting house. Um they're working on a bunch of stuff. Like they have yeah, you can there's big buildings that the because I guess as humans there's going to be a thing where you can actually breed the dinosaurs and keep your own nest as people too, just to have them. So that'll be interesting.
My goodness.
Yeah, it's so the humans can actually kind of create their own Jurassic Park within Jurassic Park.
I wonder if the humans will have coordinates.
I mean, I would think they would, or you can create something that can. Oh, and they're bringing Brachiosaurus in, so they're bringing a different long neck in.
Okay.
That's coming soon, but the monsters look absolutely crazy. Oh yeah, and the trike is in the game. Yep,
Okay.
he just changed the default, so the trike looks a little different. It's colored differently now. It's browns and reds and blacks.
You had me worried, Shake.
Yeah.
You had me so worried.
Yeah. And then there's a new carnivore called the acro, which looks a lot like an allosaur because every time I walked by it, I was like, oh, an aloe. But I was like, no, wait a minute, that's not an aloe. It's scarier looking than aloes, and they're a little bit bigger. So, I mean, I think he's adding stuff, taking stuff out. There's gonna be caves that have the cannibals living in them, and then these fucking hideous looking monsters. They're gonna scare the hell out of me. I'm not excited about it because he posted like a drawing of it, and then he posted like his initial like the initial look of it. I mean, it looks like clay. I don't know how to say it. Like, but you know, they like when they create the image in their weird little design apps
Yeah.
on the computer, but it looks like a weird all gray sculpture thing, and it's ugly looking, and I'm not excited. I just don't. I'm scared about that. I don't need it. I don't need that kind of negativity in my life, but I'll deal with it. I'm gonna have to play it tonight now. That's gonna be my life. I'll be on the aisle if anyone needs
Shake.
me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I gotta get. I'm falling in love again.
Oh my God, Shake.
You know, I fell out of love for a little while, and now I'm falling in love again. Let me have this. I'm growing.
Hmm.
And okay, I've exhausted everything I can think about with that game right now, but I needed to share my feelings on it. There's something I wanted to mention to you last week. Have you heard of it's Star Wars related. Have you heard of them taking Star Wars and turning it into a TV show
Yes.
on ABC?
You know, well, they've been talking about doing a Star Wars TV show for a while now, but
Yeah.
yeah, I heard they were going to do that.
Are you
Of course,
you're not excited about this?
well, I don't even know if it's still on because it might have been canceled by now. I know there's been like well, oh wait, no, the Friday the 13th series might have been canceled. Star
Yeah,
Wars is
no, because
still.
I just read about it. I read about it last week. And they were saying that they were in the talks of doing a show for Star Wars and how ABC thinks they'd be dumb not to do it.
Well,
And
I mean,
that
ABC that's kind of connected to Disney anyway because they thought like ABC Family is it that's owned by Disney now. So
oh, it
yeah,
is?
one of like ABC because I don't know if you remember like I'm pretty sure it was I think it was the ABC sitcoms that always used to do like the Disney World episode or whatever. So yeah, I mean they're connected in some way. So of course it would have to be ABC, but you know, because I remember when I went to Disney World, I'm pretty sure they had like ABC channels everywhere. Like if you went to the hotel rooms, it was pretty much all ABC. So they had like Family Matters reruns and and
Are you
ABC
serious?
ABC family movies at
I
night.
hope it's not like that when I go.
Well, I mean,
I'm probably not gonna care. I'm probably just gonna go to sleep when I hit the hotel. But still, like I'd rather like I get it if like they limit me to just watching Disney movies. I understand Disney
well,
World
they
here.
also had like the theme park shows where they would show you stuff in the theme park and they would show you like the different roller coasters. And I remember watching that sometimes before we would leave, but yeah.
Oh, what, watching the rides before you go
Well, you
on
can like
them?
just see what's all out
Weird.
there because like you may not know what's out there. Like there's a whole lot of stuff you might not even know about at Disney World. So
I've already got my fast passes set up. I'm good.
I remember fast passes; they were nice.
I've I've got 8 days planned to the T.
I remember we were out there till like the early AM because we had like those passes, so like we could still go ride rides when most people were having to leave, and so we would be on these
They
empty
don't do that
rides.
anymore.
Well, this was back in like 2009, I think.
Yeah, now they have like what is it, like the magic hour? Like you can get in an hour earlier,
Okay.
but that's it. You can't stay late. Is there any part of Disney you can go in all night?
There was back then. Like I don't know if it was
I
all
wonder
night.
if it's like downtown Disney or like, but now it'd be Disney Springs because that's what it
Because
is
they had a
now.
lot of stuff that went super late. But yeah.
I would assume Disney Springs is the only place you can hang around in at night.
I
And
don't
like, you know, your hotel pool in the arcade.
I will say Space Mountain is particularly fun at night. Even though I guess it doesn't technically matter. But yeah, Space Mountain is
Is
definitely
it it's inside a building.
it is, but it whenever you leave Space Mountain and it's nighttime, there's just something magical about that. So,
Oh my god, now I have to change my fast pass and go at night.
oh my God, you don't have to do that, Shake.
I want to experience the magic of Disney.
Oh my God, Shake.
I need to
You
know.
can do it a day because like I think you're inside. You're that I remember that line was super long for Space Mountain. That's what I remember about Space Mountain.
Yeah, I got the fast pass for it because everyone who's been to Disney tells me to go on that
Oh
ride.
yeah, and like and during the ride, I'm sorry, during the line, like you'll be going through some areas and they'll have like these games set up that you can play while you're waiting in line. Then you move on to the next area. So it's a very long line, but there's a lot to do, and you've got to do.
That's what I hear is that Disney tries to make the lines manageable for people. Like they try to entertain. Like somebody said they had movies playing and
Yeah,
stuff
they
too.
do. They do. And the if you're going for crazy roller coaster stuff at Disney, the two that come to mind would obviously be the Aerosmith ride, the
Yep, I fast passed that
and
one.
the other one is at the Animal Kingdom. And it's like the I don't know what it was called. It was like dealing with the Sasquatch or something. It wasn't as crazy. It's not
Yeah.
as crazy as the Aerosmith one, but it's the only other one I can think of that was sort of a roller coaster that was more than just, you know. But there is another one called Thunder Mountain. And Thunder
I didn't
Mountain,
even see that one.
well, it you're not going to have a long line, I don't think, with Thunder Mountain, and especially if you're there fairly late. Um, Thunder Mountain isn't really a scary looking ride, like especially if you're walking by it and you just see people on it, you're like, "Oh, that looks really tame." But the thing about Thunder Mountain is when you're actually on the roller coaster, you feel like that roller coaster is about to fall apart because of how shaky and rackety it is. And it's like, it feels like it's on its last string. And you will be terrified for that reason alone riding on that
So
thing.
it's not like I'm afraid of the actual roller
No,
coaster. I'm
like,
afraid I might die.
exactly. And
But
it's funny because
before I get off
because
of
I
it.
remember like we were walking by, it's like, oh, that looks fairly tame. That looks kind of, it's going kind of fast here and there, but it looks like nothing. We just did Aerosmith. Well, we get on this thing, and it's the most terrifying ride there because you just feel like you're about to die. And the only other thing I can think of would be Tower of Terror, which
That I'm excited
I
for.
rode that about 4 or 5 times, like in a row. I remember
Yeah, I'm really excited for that ride.
my brother and I
Because
we
I
went.
was afraid of that movie when I was a kid.
But we
Like
would
I was
we would go get on the ride. Then as soon as we got done, we would go and fast pass it so that we were in line for the next one. And because that's how the fast pass used to work. Like you would take your card and you would go to whatever ride you wanted, and you would insert your card, and it would give you a time. And if you came back at that time, you could automatically ride. Um, but you could only have one at a time. So let's say you did that, you had 10 a.m. So you went there at 10 a.m. and you did the ride. Then you got off the ride, you did it again, and it said 3 p.m. That means until 3 p.m. you can't use that fast pass again. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, now it kind of works. Well, now you don't have a card, you have a wristband.
Okay.
That stores like your credit cards, your room key, everything's on it. Which is nice because you don't have to carry anything. So I thought that was amazing. I'm like, great, I don't need to carry my stuff around and probably lose everything because that's me. But online they let us do 3 fast pass items for each day, and then you can't do any more. And once you pick a park to do a fast pass in, your fast pass has to be the other two places need to be within that park as well. And then after you use up those three, you can go on the app on your phone and select individual rides. And then, like, once you go on that ride, you can use it again. So it's still kind of like that, where you can't use it again until you get on that ride. But
What,
I want to do Tower of Terror pretty badly.
well, you've got to do the Epcot, the big circle ride, the big ball of Epcot ride. It's
What is that? Is that the soaring one?
it's no. It's not soaring. It's the one that that big ball at Epcot, like the big giant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing.
That's a ride?
It is. It's not a very
What?
it's not like a fast ride or anything. It's like you get there, you sit down, and it's a very slow ride, and it goes all the way up and all the way down, but you don't feel like you're going anywhere really. You just feel like you're riding, and you're looking at all these like animatronic things, like it's kind of going through the history of time, and then it shows you its predictions about the future. It's a very tame ride, but I always go on it because it's just neat. Um,
That didn't even show up on anything. I did not know that was a ride.
Yeah, I mean that one's one you can just get in line for. But yeah, I mean there's a lot of cool stuff. Like the Star Wars ride used to be there. I don't know if it still is.
They're building a whole new park for Star Wars.
So do they no longer have the Star Wars ride?
No.
Oh my
Oh no, they
God.
do. They do. I'm sorry. They do have a Star Wars ride. Yep.
Okay, well you're gonna want
You
to get
get
on.
in the Millennium Falcon with Han Solo.
Okay, that's not the one that I rode, but
Oh.
Our the one we did was called Star Tours.
Yeah, no, that is it. That's it.
Okay, well, and that you're not in the Millennium Falcon, but it's a very short ride. But if you're a Star Wars fan, you've got to experience it. So
And I am.
okay,
I'm part of the world now. I'm excited because I think it's cool that they're giving it its own park now. I mean, Disney's smart to do that. People are crazy about Star
of
Wars.
course, it does need its own park.
Yep, so it's getting it because it's got a bunch of sections already in the Hollywood Studios area.
Oh, I'm gonna have to wait till they do that to go back to Disney.
Yep. I'll be going back once they open that park. I'll be there again. I'll be like, yep, taking another 8-day
So
vacation.
when are they opening this park, Shaq?
They just started building it. It's going to be a long
So
time.
next week.
Though. Yeah, next week.
I remember when they were building Tower of Terror because I was there the year that they had up the big billboard and they were like, "Yeah, Tower of Terror coming soon," and I was like, "Oh, I can't wait." But it was worth it. That was one of my favorite rides. It's quite exhilarating.
You laugh like it's scary.
It is scary, but in a good way. It's the fun type of scary.
I don't want to be really scared.
Oh, Shay.
Am I going to scream?
It's one of those like you get in there and they're like, "Okay, make sure you buckle up."
Really?
Oh, Shake, you're gonna. Yeah, you better make sure you buckle up on the Tower of Terror.
I'm going to record myself on the ride.
And can I just say, the Aerosmith ride, the scariest part of the Aerosmith ride is not even when you're on the ride. It's like right when you come into the area with the roller coasters and you see the ones ahead of you, like before you've sat down or anything, you're just watching other people get on their roller coasters. Those things start so fast and they just start zoom right from there's like no build up. That thing just
Oh, there's no like, let's go up this ramp, go over the hill, and then we're fast.
Aerosmith, you're being shot out like a bullet, and it's just really fast.
You're gonna break your neck.
Oh, but it's so much fun, Shake. And they
Yeah,
take your picture as you're like going on every ride. So at the very end, you'll see yourself on like the little monitor, see what reaction you.
Oh, I hate that because then everybody else can see you too. And I'm gonna be that person they're pointing at going, who's this crazy bitch? She looks terrified.
But that's every ride at Disney.
Oh, that's sad. I don't want it.
Oh, you need to go on that dinosaur ride too.
Yeah, it's gonna be closed.
Oh, they're closing it?
They're renovating it.
Oh, that's too bad, Shake.
I know. I'm pretty bummed about that because that's one that I really wanted to go on.
Yeah, I mean it's not like a exhilarating ride or anything. You're just kind of riding around. You see like animatronic dinosaurs moving around.
Oh, I know. It's exhilarating for me.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I know that. I just meant like it's not like a fast ride. It's just
I'll cry.
It's an experience type ride, and it's really.
Yeah, I will cry because the pictures I saw, I'm like, that's scary shit.
So that's one you won't be able to see.
I know they're doing that one. The Frozen Ever After ride though is brand new at Disney.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll be going on that. I'm gonna upload like a big long video of my trip on YouTube for everybody who doesn't care about what I'm doing.
Oh, you
Whatever.
should.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
I remember we went to like some of the 3D shows. They had one for Lilo and Stitch, and they had one for. In fact, I think that was the first one we did, like that 3D experience where you sit down and you feel things as things are happening. And there was also one they did for one of the insect movies, like.
Oh, Bug's Life or
I
something?
think the one with
Was
George
that Bug's
Clooney.
Life?
I think it was.
Or Ants?
I can't remember. It's been a long time, but
I don't remember.
it was like you sit down in a theater, but things start happening in the theater, so it's
What?
and you wear glasses. Well, like you might feel things moving in your seat because like the way the seats are made. It's just it's meant to be like a 4D experience, I guess.
That's scary.
It's not really. It's more silly than anything.
I don't want it.
But there's so much fun stuff in Disney. Ugh.
I know.
And I'm going to be.
Did you have any interest in Suicide Squad?
Everything I've seen about Suicide Squad has been mixed. I mean, I haven't read any reviews about it because I don't care what other people think. Because I found that most people don't know what the hell they're talking about when they try to review films anymore. Because after Ebert died, it's like who even cares? But honestly, I don't know much about the comics. I might end up watching it at some point when it's available on one of these streaming sites, but I'm so far behind on superhero movies. I haven't seen Ant-Man or Thor 2 or Superman or any of the Batman films or Spider-Man films. I am so far behind that it's not really one that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to go see that tomorrow. No. So
Ant-Man was amazing.
I'm told it's really good. I look forward to seeing it, but I'm watching them in
I loved it.
So I'm only up to Iron Man 3. And so I think Thor 2 is the next one in line. So I'm going to keep going. I've only seen one Captain America. I haven't seen a lot of superhero movies, but
No, I'm behind too in a lot. I saw the new Spider-Man movies. Did not see anything past the first Captain America movie.
yeah. And I haven't seen. I
I
saw the
think
first Avengers. I haven't seen any other Avengers. So
same. I didn't see anything either. I mean, I stayed up with Batman, but DC is not known for making great
that is
movies.
true.
Um, but the Batman ones have been good. Superman versus Batman was pretty bad. Superman was good though. I actually liked the new Superman movie.
I look forward to seeing it because it's got an actor I like on there. But
Yeah, I'm not a super like I don't like Superman as a superhero, but the movie was really good. I
yeah,
liked it.
I've never been a big Superman fan either. I watched Smallville back when it was on, which is a.
Yeah, you've told me to watch that.
I mean, it's good up to a point, but I mean, it is. It's just it's hard to recommend it because it's been so long since I've seen it. So I'm always kind of like, was that really a good show, or do I just remember it being good?
Do I like it, or am I just,
Because I mean that
glamorizing it in my
because
mind?
that was before I had things like Netflix where the quality of TV shows is so much higher now. So it was back when they were doing like Monster of the Week type of episodes, kind of like Buffy did early on in its years, which I
Yeah.
still think Buffy is amazing, and I want to rewatch it
Buffy
again.
is great. Yeah,
But
I will be rewatching Buffy. I watched so much of that when I was younger. I didn't stick with Angel,
yeah,
like the spin-off, because I know those kind of cross. You had to watch them in a certain order, and they went together.
you
But
know.
I mean, yeah,
I mean, here's how I watched. I watched all of Buffy, and then I watched all of Angel, and I was fine. So,
yeah, it's okay. Like you don't need to do it like that, but some people do because they're crazy. Like
I
people
mean,
are insane.
Angel was mixed. Like there was some good stuff and there was some bad stuff. It was certainly different. It was more like crime drama, really, at certain
It
points.
was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I liked certain characters in it a lot, and I liked that it continued certain things. But it was a very different feeling show, but it's still
Oh yeah,
enjoyable. I liked Buffy more,
it wasn't Buffy.
but it was sort of like the B show, you know.
Yeah, it was the hey, we're done with this, but here's something
I
else.
like
If
I
you
liked
want.
Firefly better, but
Firefly was great.
I
I'll never watch it again though.
I know it's a hard one to go back to, but
Yeah, it's like it's amazing. Like I recommend Firefly to everybody. I will never watch it again
yeah,
because it's too much.
yeah, and it ends.
I like that
You know.
that show takes you on a ride.
And the movie ends on such a weird note anyway, because they wanted it to be a trilogy, and now it never will be. So
Yeah, that'll never have Firefly's over.
what's so sad is that if it had just come out 10 years later, it would have been picked up by Netflix, and they would have done
Oh
something
yeah,
with it.
Netflix would have taken it.
I mean,
Well,
Netflix.
why would they never do anything with Firefly again? Why not try again? Is it just gone?
Well, I mean, that's a great question. I think that
Because like all the actors loved it.
yeah, I think
They
every
were
single one of the actors would come back. I'm pretty sure, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's Joss doesn't want to do it or what, but I mean, there certainly is no lack of love in the community. The community would crowdfund this movie, you know,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I think it's just a matter of motivation, and I don't think they're necessarily motivated to do it. And you know,
I don't know. They'd make a shit ton of money.
so yeah, I don't know why they don't do it. I think it would be the smartest thing they could do. Maybe it's because Joss is so focused on the Marvel universe stuff now.
I forgot that
Yeah, he's kind of running that show. Why doesn't he give it to one of his like other people that were involved? Like Tim Miner or whoever?
I don't know.
He had like a bunch of people. Jane Espenson was also involved, and she later went on to do Gilmore Girls. I know she's been involved with I believe Once Upon a Time was a show she's been doing. So yeah,
Oh well, look at that. She's doing good
in fact,
things.
she was my favorite of all the Buffy writers. Like she usually wrote my favorite episodes, and so I've definitely kept up with her career. She went to Dragon Con on the last year I went to go there, and I spent 2 days looking for her, and I could never find her because the writers were not given like booths. And so I tried everything. I waited in line in one of the Buffy actors' lines just to ask them where Jane Espenson was.
I feel
Um,
like you probably were very polite about it,
I was.
but it still sounds shitty.
I bought something from the person, so it's not like I was being a dick. I did buy their damn
Yeah.
shit.
It's
Okay.
like, listen, I'll buy your shit, but I'm not.
But you know, 'cause
Where is
here's
she?
the thing: like
Where-
you buy something from the celebrity and you ask them a question. That's pretty much kind of the courtesy, right? So that's what I did. I used my question to ask, "Where is Jane Espenson? Like, does she have a place or something?" And apparently she didn't. So I could never find her, and I was so ticked off because she was actually the person I wanted to most see, which I know is crazy to some people. Why do you want to go meet a TV writer? but she's like my favorite TV writer.
Right,
So
because they wrote a show you like.
exactly, she wrote amazing episodes. She knows how to write amazing characters. So yes, I wanted to meet this person. So I couldn't though. I was in the same area and I could not find her, and I was so upset. But oh well.
But what did I start with here? Oh, Suicide Squad. Dude,
We went off on a tangent. Go ahead.
that's okay. I've been keeping up with it since, it was born. And I one of the things that initially upset me was how we're again going through this thing of how this actor's getting into the Joker character, which to me it feels so fake now. It's like, I understand method acting, but everybody's got some weird fucked up story with how they got into their Joker character. It's not interesting anymore. Stop. Like, just stop. Like, we get it. You did some fucked up shit. You acted stupid. You pretended to be crazy. I get it. Stop. But the thing is, Jared Leto is a different kind of Joker just from, like, the commercials that I've seen. He's not a Joker that I like. He comes off as, like, very scary, which I guess he's supposed to be a scary villain. But I don't know. There's got to be a balance there, because I don't know if you saw The Dark Knight, right?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Yeah, so you've seen Heath Ledger's
Yeah, I've seen it.
Joker.
Yeah.
I liked his Heath Ledger because his Joker. Sorry, I liked his Joker because he was scary because he was so unpredictable, but you also liked him because you're like, yeah, this guy's fucking hilarious because he was funny. He did funny things, but they were equally disgusting at the same time. But he was scary, just his presence, like him, just his look, everything about him. Whereas Jared Leto's Joker is like super over the top, and all I have ever heard him talk about is all the fucked up shit he's done to get into character, and it's like, you did not need to go to those extremes. I was like, no one cares. And I feel like that in a way created an overhype for the movie to see how messed up this Joker was, and I feel like a lot of people were let down by how the movie played out, because I haven't seen it, but I know about 24 people who have, and every single person has not said it's bad. I haven't had anyone say, yeah, this is a bad movie. I've mostly just heard that it was not what it was advertised to be, and that they feel like it was way overhyped, which happens. They should have expected that.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you're coming out with a movie with just a whirlwind of bad guys and big actors in it. That's just going to happen. But I have to see it. I'm probably not going to see it for a while. Hell, I haven't even seen Ghostbusters yet.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that one too. I'm waiting for with Ghostbusters, I'm just waiting for it to die down in popular culture.
I haven't heard anything about it, though.
I've heard things all over the place. I've heard good things and I've heard bad things. And the weird thing about it is that the things I've heard have been so extreme. It's like either you really love this movie or you really hate this movie. So that's why I'm staying away from all that. I haven't read any reviews. I haven't done anything like that.
I haven't either.
I'm just going to wait, watch it as a movie, judge it as a movie, and move on with my life. Because at the end of the day, that's all anybody should do with a freaking movie.
I think the most I've heard from that is somebody telling me they were never going to see it because how dare they redo Ghostbusters? Like, how dare they take away my characters? And I'm like, okay. Can you imagine them remaking it and bringing all them back now? Really? You want to do that?
Some things do not need remakes, like Jim and the Holograms, which, God, let's not even get started on that. But, but yeah.
No, but I think Ghostbusters was a good idea. I'm gonna get to it eventually. They're remaking Scarface. Did you hear about that?
No.
I'm not excited about that.
I'm not either. I'm like, Scarface was fine as it was. I just wish people would do something more original. Oh, you know what?
Why would you redo? It's like redoing The Godfather or Goodfellas. Don't redo that stuff. It is stamped in time as what it is. We don't need an updated version of it, because you can't update Scarface to modern time now, like this far in the future. and it's not the same.
No.
It won't be the same. You couldn't do it to The Godfather. You couldn't do it to Goodfellas. You couldn't do it to any of
I feel
those.
like modern audiences also are just a little too sensitive. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't think it would, like a lot of these movies would not be seen the same way if they were made today.
The Godfather wouldn't be big anymore.
No, I think people would be
Nobody would
bored.
give a
People
fuck.
would be fucking
Yeah.
bored by it, even though it's
Yeah,
like one
yeah,
of the
that's true.
greatest films ever made. I love that movie to death. I'm talking about the first
I
one. I know a lot
mhm.
of people say part two is better, but I disagree. I think the first
I
one.
haven't watched them in years. I have to sit down and watch them again.
I do
It's been a
too.
long time.
They're very
It's
good though. I even
yeah.
like part three. I know that three is the weakest link in that mix. It is, but I do enjoy watching it. I don't think it's anywhere near one, but I, but it is a movie. It does follow the timeline fairly okay, and it kind of does its own thing. But yeah,
Yeah, but they want to remake Scarface with all new people and stuff, and I'm like, why? Why would you take something that no longer is relevant in this day and age, like the issues in Scarface, that doesn't make sense anymore? There's no reason to do it. It's not going to be received well, and if it is, it's because it's going to end up being a completely different movie. It's going to have the Scarface title and not
well,
be like it at
I
all.
mean, most remakes are even when they bring back stuff from the past, like it doesn't always go well. I still haven't seen the movie Miami Vice because I refuse. There was no reason for
They
them.
did that?
Yeah, they made a Miami Vice movie, but here's the
Who was
thing.
in it?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Before I tell you that, this movie had nothing to do with the 80s. It did not use 80s music, 80s style, anything. It was made modern day. So a modern
Hmm.
day Miami Vice.
You can't do that.
It's if you're doing that, you might as well call it Nash Bridges. Let's be honest here. But no, it was Colin Farrell was in that. So
Oh, I feel like I heard about it, and
yeah,
I didn't. I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
and like this.
Yeah, because you can't take something that's deeply rooted in the '80s and be like, yeah, we're just gonna change everything.
And even when they did things like Mission Impossible, which the first Mission Impossible was actually a pretty decent film. It
Hmm.
did some things that I think ticked a lot of people off with certain characters from the series, but or at least one character from the series, because I think there was only one who really was from the series. But then they had all these sequels that are pretty much just spy movies, you know. I mean, generic stuff. But yeah, no, they don't need to be doing so many remakes. I still haven't seen Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I still won't.
Oh, what, the Tim Burton one?
Yeah, I'll do
I
it.
fucking hate Tim Burton.
And I mean, I think it's fine that people do these things. I think it's fine if you want to go remake something, but I'm not going to go watch it. Um,
Yeah, do what you want, but doesn't mean I gotta see it.
and that's what I'm saying with remakes and such. It doesn't really matter to me that they exist, so I don't care that they remade or they're doing a new Ghostbusters or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I will still see the movie. I'm going to see this one partly because of how controversial apparently it is.
It's a big deal.
So like that just makes me want to watch it. Like if there's a controversy, I want to watch it and then I want to judge it for myself and then I can.
Right, and be like, why was this such a controversial thing? Are you
Exactly.
serious?
So
Like, who gives a
either it's a great movie or a bad movie or an in-between movie. You know what? I'll be honest. So when I watch it, I'll just say what I honestly think about it. And we'll leave it.
Did you see the did you watch The Sopranos?
Yes, I did. I did.
Are you a fan of The
I
Sopranos?
am. I was.
Okay. Now, you know how it ended then.
Yes, I do.
I remember exactly how that night went for me and the panic I went through. I read, because I have a friend who's watching it, and I'm like, oh, just tell me what you think of the end, because I just remember panicking and being like, what is wrong? I thought like my power was going out. I was losing my mind. But there's they had talked for a while about after The Sopranos ended and everything, everyone just dealt with that. Then they started talking about doing a movie for The Sopranos. And I hate when shows do that too, because God forbid you let it end. You have to make a movie that will just stretch out this story longer than it needs to, because I think The Sopranos went on a bit too long anyway. The Sopranos did not need to be as long as it was. And then they wanted to go and make a movie out of that too. You can't do that. Just leave shows alone. Let them be shows. But I've seen a couple shows go into movies. And some of them are okay, but I don't think The Sopranos ever would have needed it. Not that they can do it anyway, because they can't. I mean, your main character's gone.
Well, I mean,
They could never do it.
a spoiler alert for The Sopranos. but as far as the ending to The Sopranos, I mean, I remember when I first saw it, and I thought, okay, that's I just figured it was like one of those artsy endings, and I was like, okay, what is this like? Oh, you fill in the blank of what happens. But it took me going online, looking up like people who had analyzed it as a film, that I finally understood the ending. And
Okay.
because like they actually did. They went out and because I can't take credit for doing this because I don't know what I'm doing, but
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing any time ever.
there was someone who showed shot by shot how it ends, and it does end with Tony Soprano getting shot and killed. And the reason why that's known is because of the way it was shot. Like apparently because every time somebody entered in through the door, so we would always see Tony Soprano's POV, so his point of view. And so every single time that happens, like Tony looks off at something and then you immediately see his POV. Well, when they do that for the final time, um, it goes to black. But more than that, you can actually even tell who kills him because one of the guys who goes in apparently crosses around to a certain area, and there's like this emphasis on who that is. So they've actually broken it down to know which character killed him from what angle, and that he is in fact dead because the very end of the movie is Tony Soprano being dead. That's why you don't hear anything or whatever. And the creator of the show apparently wanted to end it that way because he did not want to
Hmm.
reward people who were there for the violence. Like he didn't want, because apparently he had a really big problem with the way the audience would like the violence on the show, and he didn't want to reward them at the end. So in a way,
Right, you didn't want that to be a focus.
right,
That's not what it's
it was
about.
almost like he wanted to say "f you," But
Yeah.
and so as a result, he had a very confusing ending that you actually have to look up and decode to understand what happened. But once you do, it's very obvious that yes, Tony Soprano
I
does get
gotta
killed.
rewatch it now.
I wouldn't recommend rewatching it without reading the decodement because when you read that thing and then watch it again, you're like, oh, now it makes
Yeah,
sense.
no, I'm gonna have to do that because I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so yeah, so apparently Tony Soprano gets killed. So in that case, and I know the actual actor died shortly after the final season, but you could do a Sopranos. I mean, you could do a Sopranos movie because he's no longer there. So
You couldn't,
Tony,
yeah, you couldn't do that then.
no, you
I
can, you
didn't
can,
know
you
he
can, you
died.
can do it. That's what I'm saying. You can do it because he's no longer there. So you can do
Yeah,
a
but
movie.
without him, I don't want it.
It would just be about somebody else, whether that
Yeah,
be. And
I'm not
of
interested.
course, out of all the people, like I think it was only Paulie survives. I think because they gunned down Sal. I think they killed
Yes.
Sal,
Yeah, they
and they
did.
killed his nephew. And
Hmm.
so yeah, I think Paulie was really the only character who survived. And who the hell wants to watch a Paulie show? I don't know.
I don't want to
I mean,
watch him do
he's
anything.
he's a great character, but
Yeah, I'm not interested in. I don't want to sit through that.
he's
Like what?
mostly he's mostly a support role.
Yeah, we can't have him step into the light and just take the reins like that. I couldn't do it. I gotta rewatch The Sopranos now.
Oh my
There's a
God.
lot of things to rewatch. Sitting through The Sopranos is rough, though. There's a couple seasons of The Sopranos that I don't want to revisit.
Oh my God.
That I was like, this is too much. Like all the coma season. I call it the coma season because it's a coma season. I can't deal with
Oh,
that.
was that one of the later seasons? I
Yeah,
mean, as the show went to the later seasons, I didn't like it as much. In fact, after they killed off, what was his name, Ralph, the guy with the wig,
I think so. Yeah.
because that was like my favorite character. He reminded me of Sonny from The Godfather because of how hot
Oh,
tempered.
Sonny.
Yeah, because he was such a hothead. And so I loved that character. And when they killed him off, I felt like the show quality just dropped considerably. So,
That's what happens though when shows go on for too long. You can tell. Like you're like, oh, I don't know. I think The Sopranos could have ended seasons before it actually did.
yeah, probably. I mean, it only was on for like 6 seasons, I think, but it could have probably only gone about 4 and been fine. So, you
Yeah,
know.
they went too long. Whatever. Do you have anything else?
Oh my God. I could
Because
go on, you know,
I'm going dry right
I could
now.
go on for 2 hours if we really want to,
I mean, I could.
but I don't think we should.
No, because I have other weird things to talk about that I don't want to talk about today.
Oh my goodness.
I have a thing written in here that just says baby tossing.
Oh my God, what?
I'm not
Oh,
talking
so
about
we're
it
saving.
today,
This is our
but it's
cliffhanger.
something to think about.
It's a cliffhanger ending.
It's not. It's stupid.
Well, what, you got to save it for next week now.
No, no, I'm not. Now I'm gonna tell you.
Shake.
I'm gonna tell you because it's really quick and it's stupid. So I was perusing the paper, and there's small rural, not the paper. You know what I? Why am I talking like I read newspapers? I don't. There's rural towns in India that will bring their infants to the tops of like mosques and stuff, whatever, religious junk. I don't know, stuff, places. They'll bring them to the top and throw them off the roof. But they don't die. They like have people down below like with a big blanket out, and they like grab them by their hands and feet, like yell some words at them and just throw them off the roof, and it's supposed to bring the families good luck. But I'm pretty sure that's just brain damage. I'm pretty sure that's the only luck being brought to your family is brain damage. And I thought that was the craziest thing I'd ever heard in my life.
That,
But this is like a
no,
thing that happens.
strangely enough, you actually reminded me of the one thing I was about to bring up earlier.
That
So,
is so fucked up,
but it has
Razzle,
nothing to
that
do
I
with that.
mentioned throwing babies off a roof, and you're like, yeah, I got
Yeah,
something.
I'm not going to even comment on that. That's out there. But no, I was just going to mention that Star Trek the series has gotten a few more details released. The show will take place 10 years before
How did you
the
think of that just now?
I'm thinking of it because when you said that, I was thinking about how the Star Trek cast has the prime directive and they would never interfere with cultures. But I'm sitting here like somebody's got to stop this person from throwing babies off a roof. But anyway, but no, it's going to take place 10 years before the original series, and it will have a female main character, and
Interesting.
but not necessarily a captain because they're going to have it from the point of view of an officer or something that's not a captain for the first time. And the only other thing they would reveal was that there will be a gay character. And I found it really weird that these were the things they were revealing.
But why did they have to reveal
I
that?
know, I
I'm,
did,
I'm a little
I
concerned.
would have liked it more if we just found out there was a gay character while watching the
Yeah, it's like I
show.
don't need you to announce that that's going to be in the
It
show.
was kind of
Thanks.
like when they just revealed that about the Sulu character in the movie. They just kind of felt, yeah, Sulu's gay in the movie. I'm like, well, okay, but first of all, who cares? I mean, it's why can't I find out while I'm watching the movie? I got to announce it before I go see anything. But whatever. Apparently, there's no such thing as enjoying shows anymore. Now we have to have all the big reveals.
I mean, I don't think I just don't think it's relevant to
Well,
reveal that. I
that's
think
what I
that
meant.
just yeah, it just brings it. I don't know, like that's
Like it's not even a
that
big
kind
deal.
of
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't even see why
right.
that
It's like they're
happened.
making it a big deal
It's
though.
like, oh
They're
hey,
like, hey,
look at
guess what?
us. We're putting
Yeah,
a
we
gay character in our show. You know, if this was 1992, that would be a big deal. But guys, come on. I mean, gay characters everywhere now. It's wonderful.
right.
But
It's
you
just
know,
like when we take the time to announce them, it's like we're treating it like it's
we're yeah
still a big
we're treating it
deal.
like it's a feature of the show, and I'm like, that's
Right.
not what I'm interested in with Star Trek. If you're going to talk to me about what you're doing with a show, I like the fact you revealed the timetable because that tells us that we're probably going to encounter classic villains, which is
Mhm.
fine by me. Some people are upset about this, but honestly, the first 3 years of Voyager were awful because all they did was introduce new casts or new creatures, new aliens. It wasn't until they brought back the Borg that the show actually got good, in my opinion. So bringing back classic aliens sounds fine to me. Some people are upset about it, but that's so far, and that as well as the fact we're not going to be necessarily following a captain, but rather an officer. So I those two things I found interesting, but then they threw in, yeah, we're going to have a gay character too. I'm like, well, awesome,
Well,
but that's
thanks.
not really a feature. That's not. I mean, I think it's great, but it's not a feature. You know, I don't know.
It's just odd. Do we have any idea who's gonna be in it?
No, no. At this point, that's all we have. So
We have no cast.
no, no cast. All we have is they keep revealing small things here and there as we go forward, and we keep learning things. So who knows? I'm looking forward to getting more information about the show. Maybe we'll find out if there's a bisexual and a heterosexual as well. you know,
Yes, I need to know the ratio of heterosexual to gay
I need
characters
to
in the
know
show.
the age.
I need
I
charts.
need to know the age of the captain. I need to know whether or not they are a smoker or a non-smoker. I need to know
They'll have
about.
unspayed animals on it as
I
well.
need
They're not spaying any
I
animals.
need all of this relevant info before I care about
Yep.
anything else.
It's very relevant. I need to know. If you don't tell me, if there's not at least one bisexual on the show, I'm rioting. And I need to know that they're bisexual. I need to know.
Make love
Make
to
it clear to
both or
me.
we riot.
Yep, I need everything. So stupid. So fucking dumb.
Yeah, so that's what we know. And so that's what I guess we could end on, that and baby tossing. So
Well, I don't know. It was in there and I thought it was weird. I had to tell somebody. I've been holding it inside and like I watched videos on it over and over again.
Oh my god.
I know, I was watching it, it makes my stomach turn because you're watching a baby go flying off a roof. And it's like just yeah, it's well, we're going to stop now. I can't do it anymore. Don't YouTube baby tossing. It takes you to a weird place.
Oh my god.
It's just I went to a dark part of YouTube that day. It wasn't a good time. I don't even know if that's something that they probably still do it. I don't know why they would just suddenly stop because people are.
Why stop now?
It's like, why stop? We've been doing this for years. My family's so lucky. My kids are all a little special, but it's fine. It's fine. Everything's okay. It's normal. But anyway, that's it. We covered a lot of ground today. We gave you guys more news on stuff. And we talked Disney. We helped you out. We did things for you. You can email us at theprattlecast@gmail.com. Leave us a message at speakpipe.com/theprattlecast. Our Twitter is also the Prattlecast. You can find the episodes on YouTube because now they're back up there. It's amazing. This is gonna be uploaded along with the last episode again because episode numbers. So you'll get both again. Weird. Our personal Twitters are Razzle_Dazzles and Shakezilla TV. We stream together every week on Twitch as well at about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every Friday, Saturday. I think I said that. I can't remember if I did. But it's there. So follow us there as well. We're playing Saints Row, but this weekend I think we're doing Star Wars.
The weekend after this, I think we're doing Star Wars. I'll check just to be absolutely sure, but we'll figure it out.
Okay, because you had said something about it.
Yeah, I know. I get my dates mixed up or something, but we'll figure it out.
Razzle's dumb.
Excuse me?
But we'll be doing Saints Row then this week, and maybe some Star Wars next week, I guess. I don't know what's going on with him. He's not helping me out here. Anyway, see you later. See you next week.